ask, I answer. Sandy asks, how can I prove that marketing is impacting our bottom line? We're going to do a little screencast here because this is going to require a little bit of math. All you need is a spreadsheet, nothing super fancy. To prove that marketing is impacting the bottom line, you have to have visibility into the the bottom line. So let's take a look at a sample setup. Now this is a sample marketing and sales funnel. You'll want to substitute all this stuff for everything that you have in your company. So if you're a B2C company, if you're a restaurant, if you are a tax firm, whatever the case may be, you want to set this up to be the different stages that you measure. If you don't measure these stages, that's a prerequisite. So let's look at an example. Let's say we sell software, software as a service, a subscription, whatever. Let's say we closed 100 deals. We won 100 new customers, and the value of a customer on an annual basis. Let's say if it's a $20 a month service times 12 months, that's $240 per. That's the $240 per deal. Okay. Now the total value then would be 100 customers times $240, the annual fee. That's $24,000. So far, so good. Let's do a little format here. Make sure this is in currency so that it's easy to read. Okay. Now, in order for us to get to 100 closed deals, our website or our software or our Salesforce or whatever has to have opportunities. We call them at-bats, whatever you want to call them. Let's say we had 1,000 at-bats. Thus, the closing rate between won deals and at-bats is going to be 100 divided by 1,000, right? So equals 100 divided by 1,000. So that's our ability to close. How well can we close a deal? Let's go ahead and make this a percentage so that, again, we're on the same page. And now, actually, let's move that up one cell because I wanted to put this here. So now, if the value per deal is 240, of closed deals 240, we're going to multiply this times this. So every opportunity is worth $24, right? Because 900 out of 1,000 don't close. They don't turn into business. We have that there. And then, of course, we're going to multiply this times this. So we have 1,000 opportunities. Actually, I'm sorry. It should be this times this. The value should still be 24,000, right? Because logically, you have 1,000 opportunities at $24 per. So let's go ahead and just delete that. Just math check ourselves. Now, for all those opportunities, we need marketing qualified leads to fuel them. That means people who have filled out a contact form, raised a hand, requested a demo. They have walked in our restaurant. They have done all these, whatever it is that gets somebody eventually to do something. Let's put in 10,000 people have raised their hand in the last year. Again, we're going to copy this math formula here. This is 10% from here to here because 9,000 people chose not to do business with us. And then we're going to copy this here. And now we see every marketing qualified lead is worth $2.40. Let's go ahead and make sure this is a currency as well. Okay, now prospects are people who sign up to our mailing list, who sign up for email, subscribe to our blog. We have contact information on them, but they have not raised their hand. They have not said, yes, I want to potentially buy something from you. So let's make that 100,000. And again, we're going to copy and paste. So 24 cents. So if we're using, say, Google Analytics, oops, I'm going to go to switch over to my Google Analytics account. If someone fills out a subscribe to my newsletter subscription, for example, I would say, they are worth 24 cents because that's what their value is worth. Now, we can take this up another level. What if we said, okay, we now have that many website visitors, right? Again, copy and paste. So every website visitor is worth about 2 cents. Again, if we were to do the math and multiply across, we would still get that same $24,000 in value. We know that to be the case. But each stage gets progressively smaller and smaller in value. So if, for example, we worked at a company where we did not have direct line of sight into sales, for example, if you are, say, Energizer, if you as a company never sell direct to the consumer. You sell through distributors, resellers, and retail outlets, right? You cannot buy something from Energizer. You have to go to Walmart or Target or wherever to buy Energizer batteries. So you may not necessarily have some of these phases, but you do have the ability to compute visitors to your website, and you could do a similar calculation like this to figure out what's the value of that visitor. Now, if you want to go up in even one more level to say, let's do a lot of social media, right? Let's do social media, and we have an audience of 1 million people or 10 million people in social media. Right? And we only get 10% of those people to the website. The value of those people is very, very small. It would be 0.00024. Right? Again, if I were still to multiply this across, it would still be $24,000. So this means that I can compute and calculate the value of any stage based on the final stage and the conversions that happen between them. Now, suppose, for example, this number was 2,000, right? This would mean that this stage here, prospects, was the most broken stage. I had a lot of prospects, but I couldn't get them to raise their hands. As a marketer, obviously I can now figure out, wow, this is going to be a tough challenge to fix. But it also means that the value here has changed. So now this, leads are worth more, opportunities are worth more, but then prospects are worth a little bit less. So we would use that in Google Analytics, update that data. This also tells me it is this phase of the process that I need to focus my marketing or my sales efforts or my business efforts on to restore this back to normalcy, right? So if that was the case and then this was the case, and then now look at how quickly the values changed. These were 10%. I restored this, but this is 2%. Ooh, man. Visitors really worth very, very little, half of a penny. And we can see, of course, with fewer deals, we have less revenue. So I would encourage you to build this spreadsheet for yourself. This is how you determine the impact of marketing on the bottom line, because you do this calculation. Maybe you update your Google Analytics goals once a quarter or once a month, but by doing it this way, you could say, I can now forecast based on everything that's happening in sales, all the way down to revenue, what the impact of marketing is. If I know if my prospects are worth 5 cents each, and I drove 10,000 fewer prospects this month, I know I contributed $50 or $500 less to the company's bottom line, and obviously that's a bad thing, right? Likewise, if you try something new and you get a flood of new prospects, but they don't convert very well, like here, then ooh, man, even though we drove a lot of prospects, they were less valuable. We couldn't convert them, and so the impact on the bottom line was still not great. So that's how you do this. That's how you build these. It's a very simple spreadsheet. Again, nothing complex, no super crazy math here, but then putting it into Google Analytics gives you the ability to then see the impact across the board. So I'm just going to pop in real quick here into acquisition. We're going to go to all traffic. I'm going to go to source medium. Now I have e-commerce set up, so Google automatically tracks the value of sales in addition to everything else. Let's go to January 1. By having e-commerce plus lead generation value set in, I can now see per channel, hey, this channel is helping me drive $700 of revenue. This channel is driving $69 of revenue. Let's go ahead and sort by here. And then get to further on, channels further down. Hey, Twitter, combined, these two are both Twitters driving more revenue actually than my email. Wow, okay, I know I need to up my game with Twitter. Facebook, right, not so much there, because LinkedIn, if you add up LinkedIn here, is double almost Facebook, the value of Facebook. So by having these goal values set based on this very simple spreadsheet, and however far down you can measure, the further down you can measure inside Google Analytics, the better. So if you can measure marketing qualified leads through form fills, or you can measure sales through enhanced e-commerce, you're going to get better and better, more precise numbers. That's how you prove the value of marketing, how you prove that marketing is impacting the bottom line. Great question, Sandy. Hope this tutorial is helpful to you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Please subscribe to the blog, subscribe to the newsletter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.